Okay, so here we go. Starbase inside of Starbase. Updated version. So as you can see, we have the original shield value over here. We have our power-up collection indicator, our collision indicator. Up here, we have boss health, which will be active when the boss comes in. Here is the gun charge. And over here we have your score, your accumulated score. Here we see the current high score. The current high score is just 1. It's just defaulted to 1. Every time when someone beats the high score, the score will be saved. I haven't added saving a name associated with that yet, or anything more than the single highest score, but those little tedious details I'll get around to eventually. So, first things first, you might notice the screen bug out a bit. I've added a lot more sounds to it now, but the sound effects do seriously cause some lag. Every time a sound effect plays, you will see the tick rate drop, and occasionally you will see a buggy like flicker of a pixel in a screen or something that doesn't quite look right, like a pixel pops on and off. That does go away when I turn off sounds. So I'm not very pleased with the way that sounds have such a negative effect on performance of YOLO, but I just like playing it with the sound on. So here, we'll turn on the game. When it's done scrolling, it will start. And we're off to the races now. So here's my ship. When my ship turns red, the game is active. And now, so first you'll go through belts of asteroids. Before, the green ones are power-ups, blue ones are asteroids. You can see that's charging my shield. But you can see the tick rate is ridiculously low because it's playing sound effects right now. Every time a sound plays, you will see it lag. See? And then now it's back to smooth again. So I really like having the sounds on, but they just really screw with performance so much. So here, the alarm, the boss is entering. After you go through an asteroid belt, the boss enters, and now you have a little PvP boss fight. Right now my bullets do 20 damage to him, but every time you go through the game cycles through asteroid belt and boss. Every time the asteroid belt will get longer, and the boss will get stronger. He will have stronger shield, so your bullets will do less and less damage. And he has 2 attacks. One is a single bullet attack, and one is a stream blasting from his side guns. The stream has a variable length, which is randomly chosen, and that length can be longer and longer the more powerful the boss is. And if our bullets hit each other, the bullets will annihilate. So you can try to block his bullets with your bullets, but his bullets will overwhelm you. He is the boss after all. Okay, I've beaten the boss. Now I've got to fly through another asteroid field. Every time you kill a boss too, you get points for him. More and more points as the bosses get more difficult. Here's a little trick for collecting these power-ups. If you fly down with them, you can get a few more ticks out of them. I'm going to lose some shield here. The lag is really starting to kill me. I'll play again with sound off in a second. So here we go. The asteroid field is longer this time, and every time the asteroid field will become longer and longer and longer. And so that, I personally find I need to do a little bit of work on level design. The asteroid field is kind of right down the middle. The way I've designed it, I haven't really made it so that you have to swerve around stuff much. You kind of hang in the middle just dodging, which isn't very ideal gameplay, so I'll have to work on the game generation system a little bit. I'm not quite a fan of the way the levels end up coming out. Run through here, try to blast off a couple bullets. Gotta hit him once more. Got him. Okay, and so now let's just force a death. And I'm dying, I'm dying, I'm dying, I'm dying, and I'm dead. And now my score of 88 will be the new top score. So as you can see, the top score is now 88, and I can go back and I can play the game again. Or someone else could come and try to play the game. Now it'll finish scrolling again, and I'll head right back into the game. So it works pretty good. I've already found I'm learning the tricks of how to play the game. So obviously, as I said, one of the things I don't like about it is my generation of levels of asteroid fields kind of encourages you. The best strategy is to just stick down the middle, so you have an option to evade left or right, and there's no point in trying to grab those power-ups on the side. So either I need to thin out the asteroid field, or I need to rearrange them so that they end up less clustered in the middle and give you more reason to swerve all the way back and forth across the screen. The other thing I've noticed with the boss's movement, the way he moves, he always tries to keep moving. So if he gets closer, the AI, if it gets closer to the edge of the screen, it will be almost guaranteed that he's immediately going to move away. As he gets closer to one edge, he's more likely to go the other way. So that means hugging an edge like this is quite safe, even though at his furthest left point, one of his guns can hit you. In fact, at the second furthest left point, it can too. He can hit the second pixel from each side. But because the odds of that happening are so low, he goes there so frequently, and then he also would have to fire a gun at that exact moment, and he's so likely to leave the corner when he gets there. Hugging the edge is a good way to recharge your guns. So I usually like to hang out on an edge here, charge up my guns to maximum strength or maximum charge, and then try to dodge his bullets as I fly and dump my arsenal right down the middle of the screen, which is a kind of hacky way. So I think what I have to do is give him a better chance of firing a bullet when he's on an edge or something. Give him some sort of way to prevent you from camping on the corner here. Now you can probably already start to see some pixels are starting to, you'll see some issues that kind of look like dragging pixels, or like one pixel is left over from the screen before. If you watch the boss's front piece there, the most forward pixel, you'll see it double up sometimes or kind of step out of sync. If I turn off sound, that goes away. So that is like, I found so many issues where all I have to do is stop emitting sounds and the game runs perfectly, which is quite frustrating. Here, I'll show you. So I'll just jump out of test mode here, and I will pull out those sound cards. Those are, I've put them in a easy to reach place so that I can pull them out when I want. And now it will not be doing any sounds, and you will see the game is going to load and run a lot smoother, which is quite frustrating because the sounds are kind of an integral part of a game like this. So it's a little bit annoying. But as you can see now, I won't be getting any sounds, but no lag when I collect power-ups, when I end up in collisions. The screen won't bug out anymore. You'll never see pixels go where they're not supposed to be, or drift, or kind of flicker. You'll never see a flash of a pixel that shouldn't be there. That's because the screen requires on a lot of chip queuing and sequences of operations, and the lag has serious effects on a complex YOLO system. Now you can see the boss's pixels perfectly fine, never dragging, never flickering, never doubling. It's perfect. So again, I'm very dissatisfied with the way the sounds interfere with YOLO in this game. Like, I don't see why they should. When the sound triggers, it should just trigger my game client to play a sound. My game client is not like maxed out or anything. I've got tons of processor usage unused, tons of graphics card resources free. Why does playing a sound cause my YOLO to actually start delaying ticks and screwing with chip sequences? I wouldn't triggering that sound device kind of be something you would do completely external to the execution of YOLO? Simply set a flag and let the device run as... I'm not entirely sure how they've programmed this engine. But anyways, that's my one criticism from all of these experiences with this game, is the sound system in the sound device in YOLO needs some work, I would say. It should not do this. I can only imagine what it might do to a really complex system using, rangefinders or something. If you've got alerts on, does it ever cause your rangefinder collision avoidance system or your autopilot to start glitching out if you're using a very complex autopilot or collision avoidance system? Does turning on sounds ever cause you to crash or veer off course when you shouldn't? Or would it screw with your your auto targeting / auto firing scripts. Like, this is not a mission critical application and I can just turn off sounds, but in the heat of battle or in a long haul autopilot / collision avoidance, I would recommend do not turn on sounds unless you absolutely have to. So anyways, there's the game. And the high score gets reset every time because the yolol chip is in test mode right now. If you were to print this and run it outside of the SSC, then you would find every time the high scores get saved, of course. So there we go. We've got a nice multi-level, increasing difficulty Starbase game inside of Starbase. And that's all for now.